in terms of the first team, a much improved performance. Didn't necessarily click in the first half, and it looked like we were going to have a lot of the same problems we had the week before. But we fixed it on the job this week, which were really pleasing. Second half performance much better, getting from left to right and back from right to left, moving the ball well. So really pleased in that sense that we're able to fix it while we were going. Scored some good tries in the process and defended really, really well. So in terms of the first, something a bit more like what we wanted. And if we'd had the week before, we probably would have ended up with the 5 points then. In terms of the second team, they've done a double over Broads. Obviously, said last week about it being a derby. I think the first half, they got themselves into a bit of a lead going down the hill, which is always a factor to consider when you're over there. And then the second half, I think Broads came back into it, brought a couple of carriers off the bench, and it ended up quite tight again. But what was really pleasing was speaking with some of the Hawks when they got back to the club afterwards was what they're noticing in the game now as well and what they're taking out of training. So they were speaking about how they'd really done a job on the line-out. I think they said they stole about 9 line-outs. But then they also identified that when the opposition have got a strong carrier, they can't leave people one-on-one to make those tackles. They've got to double up. So it's a challenge for them this weekend, see if they can take that over to Wetherby. But yeah, both teams, I think, secured their first double victory of the season. So another pleasing weekend, really, all round. So both away from home, the Hawks going over to Wetherby, which is perfect because that's where we're stopping for beers on the way back. So it's almost like God intended it to happen. Couple of boys unavailable from last week's squads, which obviously has more of an impact on the Hawks going over there, but they're still fielding a squad of 20. They've had a pretty detailed list of what they need to do this Saturday to be a little bit better than they were Saturday gone. So it's on them now to see if they can put that into action. Got a really strong backline going over there, who I think it's due to be pretty dry in Wetherby. It'll probably be a bit of a win because there generally is when you go there, but challenge the backline to put on a show this week and make sure they get the job done. In terms of the first team, we'll be looking for a performance more like last week's second half. Couple of ball carriers missing in the pack maybe, but there's a couple of boys there who I'm sure will step up and fill that. And then in terms of the backs, we need the accuracy that we had on Saturday. We got our depth right and our skills clicked into gear in that second half. So hopefully picking up where we left off last week, and it'll be a happy bus back, 2 5-pointers in the bag, and then into a well-earned Christmas break. Secret Santa's always a good one. Last week we had a real array of gifts that went in there. Some lads went steady and got a box of Heroes, which I think is a bit of a cop-out myself. But then we had things like children's bow and arrows, which went down a treat in the beer garden we were in and on the coach back. There's a couple of boys back in themselves that they've got something a little bit special. So not nervous, I'm more excited to see what they've got. And hopefully I'll dodge the Heroes this year because as a teacher, I get enough chocolate from kids and things. So when I pulled the box out last year, I'd sooner have had some of the vulgar prizes that were on offer, I think, over the Heroes. So as long as I dodge the chocolates, I'll be happy.